I was en route from Ottawa to Vancouver, and I got a call that my dad wasn't well. They'd taken him to the hospital. And so I was concerned. I was thinking, well, maybe when I leave Vancouver, I'll stop in Calgary on the way back to Ottawa and see how he's doing. When I got settled in my hotel room in Vancouver, at about later that night, I got a call that he had passed away suddenly. And the circumstances were really, well, unacceptable. He had some kind of an infection, probably a viral infection, was getting a bit disoriented. My mom took him to the emergency ward at the Rocky View in Calgary, and they checked him into emergency. They put him in a chair in the waiting room, and he sat there for, I guess, about 14 hours without anybody dealing with him, giving him any care or attention. Finally, a member of my family showed up and raised hell with the hospital. They finally got him in to see a doc. They started doing tests, but he died later that day. It's just not right. And in the most expensive healthcare system in Canada, in one of the most expensive systems in the world, that somebody should sit in in distress, should sit in a waiting chair for 14 or 15 hours without attention or care. I just do not understand how that happens. Look, I understand that not every encounter with the healthcare system is going to be a happy one, and that we have tremendous professionals who do their very best. But there's something simply wrong with the system when somebody can sit dying in a waiting chair for 15 hours without attention. I'm not going, because of my own personal experience, I'm not going to buy the dogma that comes from the special interests who defend a broken status quo. They keep telling us this is the best system in the world. Tell that to my family. We have a good system, and there are important features of it that we want to maintain: universal coverage and insurance, where people's care is not limited because of their economic means. But it is by no means a perfect system, and I get frustrated with those interest groups who say we can't even have a discussion about healthcare reform in this country. I'm sorry, I have the sense that enough Albertans have had experiences similar to mine in the system, that they know something's wrong, that there needs to be an open mind about how we ensure access to timely and quality healthcare. Because access to a waiting list and access to a waiting room is not access to healthcare. But if this is the most expensive system in the world, why are results in so many areas declining? Why do I hear from nurses and doctors and frontline healthcare workers every day about their frustration with the massively bureaucratic, rationed, centrally planned and managed system? Too many people are waiting in pain for too long, to the point where the wealthy and the desperate end up going outside of this country. And that's just not right. There are aspects, not the whole system, but there are aspects of our system that are broken, that are not working. I know that personally in a very visceral and emotional way, and I simply will not tolerate being shouted down by the NDP or its allied interest groups who are attempting in a closed-minded way to defend a broken status quo. All I can say is I hope to bring together the best minds possible to think through how we can fix the broken aspects of the system so that families like theirs don't need to go through this in the future.